Hello and welcome to Master Gaming VR. Today we are going to be unboxing an Oculus Rift S. This is Oculus's newest headset that is launching side by side with the Quest. This is the PC tethered version, the new powerhouse. This is the Oculus Rift S. This is the inside out tracked headset. So do away with all of your old Oculus sensors because this is the only headset that I have tried with inside-out tracking where the tracking was not absolute garbage. And we're going to test that later in the video. But right now, let's get to unboxing this bad boy. So here we've got the Oculus Rift S logo. And then on the back, we've got, all of the, basically like the old consoles where you have, your game advertisements, Lone Echo, Beat Saber, Defector, Stormlands, Google Earth, Asgard's Wrath. Wasn't too impressed with Asgard's Wrath when I tried it out, but definitely Stormland. Stormland is a top pick for me for this. Is this gonna stay up here like this? I don't think it's gonna stay up there like this. So we'll just stick it down there. It's probably not gonna play nice with the green screen anyways, so we'll leave that there. All right. So we have the box here. It looks like it is just going to, is it going to slide open from down here? No. The original Oculus packaging was really, really good. So it looks like, is it going to open from this way? Yes. So it's just going to pull out from the handle side. You've got the nice Oculus logo there. And it is going to open up into a pretty bare bones packaging. If you can see inside there, just the headset, the controllers, and the box of cables that you get here, with just some foam protection to hold it in place. You can, I don't know if you can see the little nubs, but they were holding the controllers in place, and then this was holding this in place here. Actually, it looks pretty barren. It doesn't look like it was packaged very well, but I assume that it was, since I can see the impressions of where it was holding things in place. So let's get out. Let's not start with the main event. Let's go through the from smallest to biggest. We've got our batteries. Batteries are included, though I assume that these will probably die very quick since they're Mitsubishi electric batteries. We'll see how long those last. And then we have setting up your Rift S. So we've got it in a variety of languages here. So headset, controllers, comfort and fit, and headset care. So quick start guide in a, what is this, a 12-page foldout? I guess 6-page plus another language. So there is that guy. We'll need that later probably. The Oculus Rift S safety and warranty manual, looking like one of those tiny little mini Bibles that people hand out. It's so tiny. No, that's what she said. Comments in the comment section. All right, so yeah, make sure you read this cover to cover. It's very important. Don't ever lose this. Don't ever lose that. Okay, moving on. We have a. This looks like a DisplayPort to mini DisplayPort connector for obvious reasons. DisplayPort to mini DisplayPort. I don't think that needs any explanation. And then we have nothing else in this box. This box is done and gone. This can go with the warranty stuff. All right, so the controllers. So these are the new Rift controllers, and I have them in the wrong hands already. This is in the way. They do feel more solid. They feel more solid. Like the other Rift controllers, I felt like I was going to break when I grabbed them. These have a little bit more oomph to them when I squeeze. The ring design is nice, where it is up here, protecting your thumb. I am going to, if you punch a wall with these, you don't have any protection though. Whereas previously you kind of had like a finger guard on them, which was a decent look, I thought. It doesn't feel like the Oculus or the menu button will be easy to accidentally hit. I know that I had issues with that in Sprint Vector whenever we were playing on the Rift with the previous controllers. I would accidentally hit those menu buttons. These feel like they are easy enough to just quickly, I don't know if you can, how well you can see that, but just quickly come down and press it. But it feels like you have to intentionally want to press it. I don't feel like when I'm swinging around doing something, punching in Creed, beat sabering, whatever, I don't feel like I could really accidentally hit that unless I really, really wanted to. Maybe if I was gripping with the the inside of the knuckle here of the thumb, maybe. There's not really a place that I can grip without pressing a button. Maybe. We'll see how it works in practice. So these are your new controllers. They've got the wrist strap. Let's see how well the wrist strap works on the right-hand side. So it feels more rubbery than cloth. It feels very weird. And it's got a very weird wrap on it. Just pull this out. Just a small little piece of glue is holding that in place. So it feels very, very weird, to be perfectly honest. All right. Let's see. It feels nice and secure. I like it to where it's nice and snug, but not too tight, not like cutting off circulation. But I like to feel that it's there. I don't like it like loose and just flopping all over my wrist. So the fact that this feels like it's going to stay in place and not slide with extended use. It slides a little bit when I'm letting it dangle, but overall that still feels very secure. It's not like going to slide all the way down to the base and then just be as if, I hadn't moved that at all and just, I don't like that feeling when I'm playing. So I like the wrist strap. Wrist strap is nice. Those are the new controllers. So let's get to the main event. The headset. So, looks like we have some packaging around the wire here. Okay, so just a little bit of stability there. So the headset itself. Do I have anything else in here really quick before we start going into this? This is going to be very, very short. This is very, very minimalist box here. So we've got a little bit here. Just pull this off. It's perforated edges there. And then that can just go on the floor. And then another wrapping around the cord. So I'm going to pull this out. So one thing that I did notice when I tried this out at PAX is that the field of view definitely seems smaller. This feels narrower just looking at it, and maybe we'll do a side-by-side comparison in a second. But it's not very heavy. It feels very cushioned along the inside. I'm not a big fan of the Halo design, so I'm very interested in seeing how this plays out in extended play. The face cushion feels pretty nice, but maybe a little thin, maybe a little too narrow. I like the thicker face cushion on the wide face cushion on the Vive. I don't handle the narrow face cushions very well. They put a lot of pressure on my face. Spreading it out more is better. So just throw that on the ground. And then we do have, I feel like this is a 6-meter cable. I think that's what I'm remembering. But, I may be wrong. So, let's go ahead and get this all extended out there. And we can see it goes from one end of my play space to it would easily reach the length and width of my play space. So even if I were to account for the length of the computer having to plug it in to the back of the PC, this is a very, okay, we picked that up again. This is a very, very wide cord. And we do have USB and DisplayPort cables on this end. So you will need either the DisplayPort or using the DisplayPort to DisplayPort Mini adapter. So I'm going to get this hooked up, and we're going to jump into a game and check this out. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and get the batteries in these controllers. So we didn't actually get to use our trusty Batman knife until now. I'm almost sad about that. It's very good packaging that we didn't need to cut into anything, but at the same time, I like my Batman knife and I don't get to use it very often. Alright, so we got our batteries out, and if memory serves, these should just slide off. They're held in place with magnets. And then there is a diagram of which way the nub goes towards the bottom. And then that just easily slides back on. I love how easy that is. That is so easy to just put the, slide that off and put those on. Just a little bit of force and it slides right off. Flat end in, nub towards the bottom of the controller. And then it just slides back on. And you really don't have to have any effort whatsoever. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall off naturally. You can hold it by that clasp and it's not going to fall off. You have to like intentionally push and get some real good force on it, but it's still very easy to do. So that, and also what I forgot was that there is film on the inside of the headset here, which we will go ahead and peel off. It doesn't have a very satisfying peel. It just sort of plops off. So no good peel there for you guys. Sorry. Not that I really have the mic or the camera set up for it, but okay. Now we will get this set up and we will get in a game and we'll be right back. Okay, I wanted to take a minute just to go over the installation process as well. This has been the smoothest Rift installation that I have ever had. It recognized everything as soon as I plugged it in, which historically for me has been an issue. The original Rift that I had does not like to register the cameras, does not like to register the headset. This has been super simple. There is a day one firmware update for both the headset and the controllers that you'll need to do. It will run through that automatically when you run through headset setup. That'll either happen when you are installing the Oculus software for the first time, or I believe you will probably have to manually do that. I am installing the Oculus software for the first time on this PC. This is a recently put together PC, so I had to reinstall the Oculus software. So this has been pretty flawless. Headset sensor check complete. Everything has been this smooth. Controllers paired. I'm not having to do anything. So wants you to review the information online. I'm actually not hearing anything out of this. Oh, you know why? Because it changed my headset to the Rift headset. I am not a fan of that. I do not want the Rift headset to be playing sounds. Nope, that's not what I wanted. This is what I want. So we're just gonna, there we go. And then we're gonna disable that. And disable that Rift headset quick, fast, and in a hurry. So make sure you do that if you use headsets. The microphone, where is the... So just in sound settings here, disabling things. I don't like the headset audio on any of the headsets. I use my Logitech G933s because, well, for the most part for the mic. For recording, but also I like these headsets better. All right, so choose appropriate content. Health and safety, I acknowledge. I will not run into any couches full speed and break my toe, like, a coworker did. So the appropriate, clear your play area stuff. Put on your controller and headset. Right, continue setup in VR. Okay, so we're about to jump into some Robo recall. I kind of wanted something a little fast and hectic. So
Welcome to the city center.
I have to say that I still don't like the Oculus experience. The Oculus experience is pretty much just garbage. So setup was great and wonderful, much smoother, but like I can't see my chaperone bounds unless I get like super close and then it goes away. Not anymore. And you can see the tracking is working great here, for the most part. You know, I can rip him a new one and then throw him away. But like my chaperone bounds, I want to be able to see my chaperone bounds. Why is it so hard? And so the camera's over here. I'm looking in the wrong direction, trying to get back here. Why do I have to get so close to get to my chaperone? And then it goes away. Why does it go away? I don't want it to go away. I want it to be there all the time. With Steam, I can do that.
And drastically increase your score. Defective products. Shoot them, Agent 34. Shoot them.
I shot them.
The alley. Agent, more crawlers.
So one thing that I have noticed is that tracking does get a little wonky when things are close to each other. Ow. Bastard. So like these being right here, you can see my hand is a little weird. So when the controllers are close together, I don't know if it can't differentiate between them, but you start to lose tracking on one or the other a little bit. Yeah, it is.
You can grab and throw bullets.
Congratulations.
Move to the intersection, Agent 34.
You move to the intersection. Yeah, that's the same pistol. Oh, hey, I'm getting cash. So really, I just wanted to check what I'm talking about right here.
Agents, we're teleporting weapons to your back holsters. Reach over your shoulders and grab your new shotguns.
So I'm not having any issues with reaching over my shoulders to grab the shotguns.
Spot. We should clear it.
Hey buddy, I'm Philip. I'm going to integrate to your environment.
Agent 34.
Who?
Are you receiving transmissions from...
Why are you integrating with me?
Philip? Please disregard anything this AI says. It is an older, erratic model scheduled for shutdown.
She's so sweet on me. Tries to hide it, but I can tell.
There is a high incidence of rogue robots in this hotspot.
Yeah, I see him.
Please recall as many as you can.
No, you. Well, could we,
2, 1,
I'm kind of stuck here, aren't I?
go!
I'm not stuck here. Hey, they were coming to me. How nice of them. Again, no issues going over the back. Except for when I didn't have the thing. I grabbed that.
Agent 34, please continue moving.
Jump, 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 jump. I want you to jump. There we go. Grab.
That'll teach him. Engine 33 had nothing on you.
Body shield. Oh.
Melee mode activated. New frontier.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Only 10 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
It wasn't using that.
You recalled very quickly.
We are now closed.
Move to the objective.
Okay, I think this is enough of this. So, reaching behind the back for the shotguns, perfectly fine. Like, no issues here. I don't have any there. Grabbing from the hips when not looking at the hips is perfectly fine. The only thing that I had a little bit of an issue with was moving around here, is that there was some inconsistencies when... I don't think it was a collision base, because it doesn't look like there's collision on the hands, but there was a little bit of inconsistency when firing. There you go, you see the little bit of drift? It's very small. It's very, very small, but it is there. And I have no idea which way I'm facing right now. Okay, camera's that way. So just, you know, doing this, hands out in front. It's not frequent, but it's noticeable. So, again, not super fond of the Oculus experience. The store is bad. The chaperone is bad. I hate the fact that this looks like a 3-year-old drew it. I like the sharp lines of the advanced Steam boundaries. Sorry, the Guardian system. I don't like the Guardian system. I prefer the chaperone system immensely. There are far, far, far more options. Oculus just doesn't. I don't know if they don't value it, but I do, and no, I can't. Okay, we'll probably jump back over to SteamVR at the moment, just because this is not knowing where I am in my room is annoying. Now the cool thing is that I can double tap and get pass through. Oh Jesus, get pass through view. So I don't know if you guys are seeing this right now or not. It doesn't look like it. No. So it just went black for you. But I'm seeing my room right now. It kind of looks like I'm seeing it through water. It's very weird. But I am able to see my room, which that's cool. I can do that at the press of a button, and then any button brings me back. So let's go ahead and quit out of this. We are going to jump into Steam and Orbis for some hand tracking testing. Okay, so here's an interesting issue. As you can see, we have decidedly lost where we were. If you start up SteamVR and you do not have the headset in the center of the room, then the Rift S has no idea where you are. It seems like it doesn't actually recognize that, if I walk this way, there's a door right here. Right now, it thinks that I just walked out of the chaperone bounds. And I do not know how to reset this. So let's see. I don't know if you're seeing the... I don't know if you're seeing this, the dashboard right here, but I'm going to try and see if I can reset the position here. Pass through, reset view, there we go. Reset view in app. Look forward and press a button to reset your view and orientation in this app. Okay, nope, that didn't fix anything. That didn't fix anything. So let's try. There should be the SteamVR. Okay, well, moral of the story is when you're starting up a game in SteamVR, go ahead and put your headset. I mean, it couldn't even be on the floor because the floor is way, way off. So you're going to have to put your headset on. Otherwise, it's just going to be all kinds of screwy. But this actually kind of works for us for what I wanted to do to begin with. What I wanted was to test how well does this track your arms? Like how far back? So I'm going as far back as I can, looking straight ahead, and you can see that my arms are still tracked very nicely. Oh, there we go. I'm breaking my arms, and this is where I finally lose tracking. So behind my body, getting a little weird on the left-hand side. Yep. So once you go like past your body, this is pretty good. I mean, you're never realistically going to be out here, but it's still working. Like I can barely move my arms that far, and it's still tracking. I really have to be stretchy. So once I get past my head is when it stops. Basically, it feels like any occlusion from the headset is where they stop. So you can come back here and screw around with stuff all day long. It's a little screwy back here if you leave them back here for very long. So don't mess around with your back. But as you can see, it's better than a lot of tracking. You're not going to usually have your hands back there, you know. So maybe grabbing the data pad from onward. That might be a little difficult if you have anything on the small of your back over there. But other than that, it still kind of works. I don't know. I guess it depends on where that area is. If you need to reach behind your back here for anything, then the tracking is going to be very difficult to get unless you're really quick. Anyways, for the most part, you've got free range of movement wherever you can get your hands. You're probably, unless you're far stretchier than I am, which I've had shoulder surgery, so that might very well be the case. You've got a good range of motion on here that you can work with, and you can see the tracking works fairly well. Whee. Except for when, you get them really close together, we were seeing issues, but that was in, Robo Recall when we were messing around. I'm not seeing it. Oh, there we go. Little stutter. They're like micro stutters in the tracking. If you're looking for it, you can feel it. But how often are you going to be doing this? Unless you're, like dual wielding and shooting. You're not going to do this in a lot of games. So as far as the tracking goes, as far as inside out tracking goes, I'm really impressed with these so far. Let's jump into a more demanding game, because really for Orbis, I just wanted to be able to see my model and see my hands. So let's jump into a different title now. Okay, so here we are in Beat Saber, and you can see it is the same issue. I am standing in the center of my play space, and you can't see, I don't think you can see the chaperone bounds, but the chaperone bounds go around way over there and over here. And if I walk just slightly to the right, I'm out of my chaperone bounds now. The Guardian bounds as they're defined. I really don't like this. I wish it would just use the SteamVR bounds. I'm playing through SteamVR. I wish it would just use the SteamVR bounds. So I need to figure out how to undo this. So I'm going to go ahead and exit really quick, and I'm going to start up via Steam. But I don't think that that's going to work because it's going to take me into SteamVR with this chaperone bounce. So I have to close everything. Right, and now I'm in Oculus. I don't know what you guys are probably seeing a black screen, but now I'm in Oculus, and if I let's see, if I go into settings, Guardian, let's see, let's just do reset Guardian. So reset Guardian, you have to go through the Guardian setup all over again. So I'm having to do the Guardian setup all over again because it got fucked up. This is why I don't use a Rift. This is why I prefer my Vive. Okay, so we're back in Beat Saber. I started the game and holy shit, the Guardian system is here. It worked. I don't know why or how it got fucked up, but the first time I tried this to actually get into something and it screws up my Guardian and I have to redo my Guardian. Not super happy about that. Definitely not super happy about that. But let's go ahead and jump in here. That's going to need more testing to find out just how garbage the Guardian system is in remembering where the space is, and depending on where I start my headset up in that space, whether it keeps that space in memory. It's not looking so good right now for that. Let's just go ahead and solo. Let's do the Beat Saber song. That's probably the safest song. Let's do a hard warm-up. It doesn't feel as good as the Vive Sabers. So no stuttering, pretty good. Let's take that on expert really quick. That was kind of a bad start, but that was a warm up. So I didn't feel any tracking stuttering. The only thing that was weird. The only thing that I would say is it's hard to know where to grab. There's not really a spot that I can place my thumb. These controllers are so small that just grabbing it without touching a button is difficult. And I don't think that matters here, but in something like Orbis, it might. Okay, so that's a backup. We're gonna do rum and bass. We're gonna warm up on hard. So far the tracking has been great. There have been no issues with the tracking whatsoever. issues whatsoever. It's tracking perfectly, which I have to say I'm a little surprised on. The field of view is a little noticeable when you think about it. It's not as overt as it was at PAX with the appropriate settings, my own IPD put in here, as well as the mask pushed snugly up against my face. Whereas in PAX, you know, I had to let the people who don't really know what they're doing, just the hired hands for the event, set up the headset for me. Here's setting up the headset for myself. The field of view isn't as bad as it was there. It still feels like it's less, but not horribly so, not unbearably so. I'm impressed with the tracking. I'm fairly impressed with the tracking. Not so impressed with the field of view, not so impressed with the Oculus software in general, not impressed with the Guardian system, but the tracking, I screwed up. The tracking is definitely top notch as far as the inside out tracking goes. What am I doing? As soon as I started talking. Oh, come on. No, what am I doing? That was my ceiling. So having to reset the Guardian, I've got now this whole wall of Guardian that shows up. I need to dig a little bit more into that whole Guardian system thing, because that is problematic. Having the whole, let's go back. Having your whole Guardian system reset every time you start up a game and having to redo that the whole time. That's why I don't use my Rift now. That's why I didn't use my Rift before. It was because every time I set out the sensors, I had to redo my Guardian setup, and it's a pain in the ass. And the fact that two games, both Orbis and both Beat Saber, started up with the Guardian system in the wrong place. I'm going to run a test really quick. I am going to power down Oculus. I'm going to put my headset over there on my desk. I'm going to restart everything up, and I'm going to restart a game. And I'm going to see what happens. And if it loses the Guardian system again, I'm going to be pretty upset. I'm going to be really upset, to be honest. Okay, so for whatever reason, it works this time. I've changed the Guardian, so it's only, again, the floor bounds. I don't know why. I don't know why it did what it did, but I can pull up. Can I pull up Steam? I can't pull up Steam anymore. So if you pull up Oculus at all, if you pull up the Oculus Dash at all, and make it go away, you can then no longer pull up the Steam Dash. Holding this button should bring up the Steam Dash, and it doesn't work now. And I don't know why that's a thing. I don't know why the Chaperone is as garbage as it is. I just really don't like the Oculus experience. I really don't. I really want to. I want to like it. I don't want to like the walled gardens side of the things, but I want to be able to like the Rift headsets. I want to be able to just jump in and play, but there are so many barriers to me having fun. Why does it have to display my full name in the dashboard? I don't like that. I really hate that. Why does it fight with SteamVR so much? Why is the Guardian system so subpar when compared to the Chaperone system? Why is it a fight to get anything set up and running? Why does it not remember my settings? Just remember the room settings. It's supposed to have a memory of multiple different setup. Well, no, actually, I'm sorry. That was the quest that was supposed to have the memory of multiple setups. But still, it's got one room to remember. One room. You had one job, Oculus Rift S. You had one job. Remember the Guardian system. And maybe it was a fluke. Maybe it was a one-time thing. Maybe it was getting things set up. It just SteamVR took it in the wrong place. But I don't know. All I know is that it happened, and it's frustrating. And I had to reset my room, and I had to reset up my room. If it doesn't happen anymore, then it's kind of a moot point, and I'm ranting about nothing. But it happened once. I'm kind of expecting it to happen again at some point in the future, probably right when I'm in the middle of starting a stream, the worst possible time that it could happen at all. But so far the tracking is really good on these. The FOV does feel slightly narrower. Just a little bit more narrow, but it's not abysmal. I mean, you can still play with this. If you don't really look for it or really look at it, then you can begin to just ignore it. I've gotten accustomed to having the circle of black around my vision. I'm more adept at not seeing it now unless I explicitly look for it. There is a bit of a nose slot that you can, there's a little bit of a nose gap that you can see things. Like I can see my camera set up over there. I can see the camera right now. I can see you guys. Can you see at my nose? I can see you guys. So there's a little bit of a nose gap still. It's much diminished from the original Rift though. Let's see what other things. I've been putting this on and off for a couple hours now, and it really hasn't been that bad. It's been fairly comfortable. One thing that I would say, let me put my hands down really quick, is that this right here, this piece back here, there's no like quick release. There's no like push button or pull or anything. It's the only way to manipulate it is to twist it. All right, so we jumped out of headset really quick because I wanted to show you the knob on the back that I was trying to show you with it on, and that just wasn't going to work. So when you put the headset on and off, you're going to have to twist this knob. So it's just an extra added step for getting this on. There's no quick release, so this doesn't move unless you spin this. When you take it off, it's going to be tight. This doesn't bend at all. At this point right here, it doesn't bend. So you can't like put it on and then pull the halo down. You have to fully extend this, put it on your head, and then twist this to get it into the appropriate position. Whereas with something like the PSVR, you just pull it out and it conforms to your head. But then if you pull it out and you twist, so you have a button here to release it. You pull it out. Once your head's in it, you twist this to tighten it up, and then that locks it. It'll still go forward. So when you take it off, it shrinks back to its normal size, but then you can't pull it out. So it doesn't get loose. It doesn't get more loose until you press this button and you pull it out. So this quick release lock right here is something that I would have liked to see here, but we don't have it. If you're going to use this Halo design, it's just so much more convenient to put on if you have that little quick release push button to squeeze and pull. And if you've noticed, the scene behind me went black. So I like to do my intros and outros with the game in the background. That's something that's going to be more of a pain in the ass with Oculus, because you have to cover that little sensor right there to have the game not be black. How is this a feature? What is this feature? I don't understand this feature. This is not a feature. This is a bug. This makes no sense to me. Why is this here? This little piece of machinery, this code, this is something that I don't want to have to pay for. I don't see any value in this whatsoever. So there are just so many things about the Rift that don't make sense to me as a player, as a content creator, as a VR enthusiast. There are so many design decisions about this. The the Guardian system, the settings or the lack thereof in the Oculus Dash, the whole Oculus storefront, the lack of being able to search it and find what I need like Steam. I could go on a whole other video rant about all of the issues that I have with the Oculus software. However, this will probably make it tolerable to do more Rift content. The not having to set up the cameras every time I want to do something with the Rift, having to set up the 3 cameras and set up the Guardian system. Hopefully, knock on wood, that I don't have to set up the Guardian system every single time. I'm not sure what that bug is, but there's definitely a bug where the Guardian system gets screwy and you can only reset it to fix it. I really don't want to have to do that. I don't like that the Guardian system is a 3-year-old paint scrawl along the floor instead of fixed, hard, solid lines like the advanced SteamVR setup. I much prefer the advanced SteamVR setup where you just go to each corner of your room, click, and then you've got a perfect box, because it draws the straight lines for you. That is a much better setup, and I don't know why it's not done here. I don't know why we don't have that option. I don't know why I have to hold my finger over this middle piece on the headset to, risk touching the lenses to have any sort of background gameplay, or it just goes black. I don't get this. This doesn't make any sense to me. Not being able to search for games on the store, sorted, not being able to search by category like free. When I went to go look for all games, I had to click all games, no lie, 3 times. Main menu, all games. Then in the all games setting, it gave me categories, and I clicked all games. And then it gave me more categories, and then I had to click all games. The store experience, the Oculus experience, needs a lot of refinement to match up with the SteamVR experience. That being said, this isn't a discussion about any of the auxiliary stuff. This is a discussion about the headset. I'm happy with the headset. The headset is tracking fine. The field of view is not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be in PAX. The tracking has a very wide range, almost wider than I can physically reach behind myself. The headset was still tracking it. It did get a little wonky behind the head. It did get a little wonky in the mid back area. So if you're reaching for like the data pad and onward, you might have some issues there. There are very few games that go for the small of the back anything there though, but there are a few. There are some issues with connecting this through SteamVR. The controllers, the models for a lot of games and SteamVR included are the old Oculus Touch controllers. They're not these models. That's a pretty minor issue. But starting up some games like Sprint Vector, I encountered Steam just crashing. The first time I tried to start up Orbis, Steam just crashed. So I don't know if that is on the Oculus side or the Steam side, not playing well together. It's a brand new headset, but Steam is supporting it straight out of the gate. You just might have a fight on your hands a little bit getting set up. And that's always been my issue with Oculus, is the setup before playing the game. Once you get in and you're playing the game, it's decent. It's good. It's not bad. It's everything around that gameplay experience that's just horrible. They need all of the quality of life things around playing the game addressed, and then it would be a valid competitor. Right now, I still think my go-to headset is the Pro, the Vive Pro, until the Index gets here. Having the cord again is a nightmare. But I will probably do more Oculus content with this, so stay tuned for that. Right now, I would say better than the original Oculus headset, not as good as a Vive. Sorry. It's still in that second place spot right now until the Index comes in and mixes things up. The Rift is still taking that second place spot. It's not the best headset. It's still a good headset, but everything around the headset needs work. So that, I think, is going to do it for my look at the Rift. We did say that we would compare them side by side, so we'll do that really quick. This is the old Rift. So old Rift, old Rift, old Rift. It seems the new one is maybe just a little bit deeper. So lengthwise going this direction, maybe a little bit deeper. The face mask seems to protrude a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, fairly comparable. I mean, it doesn't... I mean, this one does feel a little bit heavier, maybe. But maybe that's just me. Anyways, that's going to do it for my look at the Oculus Rift S. I will do more Oculus content now that I have this and I don't have to set up the 3 cameras every single time and set up the Guardian system every single time. Such a pain in the ass. Like I said, and I keep saying this, and maybe it'll sink into somebody who watches this video, that everything around the headset needs to change for me to really want to put this headset on. SteamVR just does everything better, and with the, you know, I've already got on that soapbox. I already spoke on that. I'm not going to get ranting about it again. If you have $400 and you don't have the money for a Vive, yeah, sure, grab this. This is a good headset. Vive is better. This is still a good headset. So that is going to do it for me. I will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think of the Rift S. Did you pick up a Rift? Did you pick up a Quest? Do you love Vive? Are you stoked for the Index? Let me know what headset is your preferred headset in the comments down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Later.